and welcome to today's Pet Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Roberta Westbrook. Thank you for joining us here at the Campus for All Animals, the Houston SPCA. We have a great show for you today because today is National Animal Shelter Appreciation Week. This whole week has been National Shelter Appreciation Week. So we're going to talk to you about everything that it takes to do what we do, to complete our mission, to make sure that we are every day saving as many animal lives as we possibly can. Because it takes a lot of people, it takes a community to do that, it takes your support to do that. And so we're going to dig in and see and highlight all of the people that help us do what we do. So get your questions together and put them in the chat, and hopefully I can help answer some questions about animal sheltering. And in the meantime, I want to introduce you to our pet of the week today. Our pet of the week is Brontes. Brontes is a handsome boy. He's about a 2-year-old neutered male husky mix. So Brontes has a very special story because he came to us through our ambulance service. And when Brontes came to us, he had a really severe injury to his eye, to his left eye. And it was so severe that our veterinary team had to, what we call enucleate, or remove the eye right away on an emergency basis. But Brontes is doing well. He has adjusted wonderfully, and he is ready to move on to his forever home. A wonderful dog. So please consider coming on down and meeting with Brontes and meeting with all of our dogs, cats, puppies and kittens, rabbits and guinea pigs that we have available for adoption. They're all looking for wonderful homes, and we know you all out there are ready to take an animal into your home. So please bring your family and friends, maybe even this weekend, so that you can meet our animals. Thank you so much. So let's talk about, National Animal Shelter Appreciation Week. The Houston SPCA has a mission to prevent cruelty to animals and to prevent animal suffering. And so we work every day to complete that mission, and it takes a lot of people to do that, including you guys. So if you have any questions, we'll get started.
All right, so how do animals actually arrive at the Houston SPCA?
That's a great question. So animals can arrive here through a variety of ways. One way that animals come to us is, as I mentioned, how Brontes arrived is through our 24-hour ambulance service. Our 24-hour ambulance service is a team of wonderful animal rescuers who receive calls from the community, from the Harris County community, regarding animals that are out on the street that are injured or ill. When they receive those calls, they triage those calls and they try to attend to the most serious cases first. So if there's life-threatening injuries or illnesses to animals, our ambulance service will go out and pick up those animals so that they can come in to our hospital, see our veterinary staff, and hopefully we can get them well. But they certainly do focus on life-threatening injuries and illnesses, and that's one way. A second way that animals come to us is through our Cruelty and Investigations Department. This is a wonderful team that fights every day against animal cruelty and saves animals from their suffering, and they come here and we're able to help them. We also will take in animals from owners and pet parents who may need to rehome their pet for a variety of ways. Sometimes you may need to rehome your pet because there's, a difference in lifestyles. Sometimes it could be a financial, things happen. And so sometimes you may need to find a new home for your pet. We're here for you, and we want to help you find a new home for your pet. That's another way. And then certainly we do take in animals from the general public when they are sick or injured or ill. If you're a good Samaritan and you find an injured or ill animal, that's, again, our mission, to prevent suffering and to relieve animals from their pain. So those are some of the ways animals come to us.
So if an animal, if the community sees an animal in need, how do we know to make a cruelty report versus an ambulance call?
Yes, that's a great question. So if you have any questions, I would call our main number, 713-869-7722. We have a wonderful staff in our call center, and our call center will help to direct those calls to the appropriate department. They will answer some of your questions, get a little background about the animal that you think is in need, and they will determine, based on what information they have, whether that animal needs to be rescued through our ambulance service, or whether this might be more appropriate for our animal cruelty department if they feel like there is a person or persons involved that are causing harm to a particular animal. So please call our general number and let our staff help you with that.
And do they take calls just from within like the 610 Loop Houston area, or what areas do they serve?
So our ambulance service serves all of Harris County, Our animal cruelty department will serve Harris County and 9 other surrounding counties as they need us. So that could be Liberty County or Fort Bend County or Galveston or Brazoria County. We will reach out and help many of the surrounding counties, but predominantly Harris County.
And you mentioned our amazing ambulance team. They're here 24/7. So does that mean there's a vet here 24/7, or how does that work?
That's a great question because, when we're rescuing animals off the street in the middle of the night, who is taking care of them? Well, thank goodness we have wonderful partnerships. There are wonderful animal hospitals out in the community that help work with us to see those animals after hours. One of our wonderful partners that helps us is Vergy Animal Hospital. It's an emergency animal hospital. And our rescue drivers will take animals overnight to Vergy if necessary. And the veterinary staff there will evaluate our animals, give them pain medication, start them on some treatment until our Houston SPCA veterinary staff comes back in the morning and we take their care over. But we are grateful to all of our partners who help us with that.
So then in general, so what happens once they actually come into Houston SPCA campus?
Absolutely. So when an injured or ill animal comes to us, they are right away seen by our veterinary staff. Our veterinary staff works in our triage department and ICU department. And so they will evaluate animals as they come in and make a diagnostic plan and a treatment plan to figure out what is the quickest way that we can get this animal healthy and into an adoptive home. And that's what our goal is every time. Certainly we see some pretty serious cases. We may not be able to save every animal that comes to us, but we certainly do try, and we want to get them all into forever homes if we can.
And what other type of surgeries do you guys do? I know spay and neuter, of course, and eugranation from Brontes, but what other type of surgeries do you occasionally see, or what are the crazier ones?
Yes, so we will do all types of surgeries here. Spays and neuters, comprise the majority of the surgeries that we do here. We want to prevent pet overpopulation through unwanted litters being born. So most of it is spays and neuters, but we do see a lot of trauma. So we do see a lot of animals like Brontes that have injuries and they require surgery. So removal of body parts sometimes. I know that sounds a little bit gruesome, but sometimes it's in order to get an animal healthy, it may require that we remove a particular body part. Sometimes it's an eye, sometimes it's an amputation of a limb, particularly if the limb is beyond repair. We may need to do amputations. Sometimes we get animals in that have actually eaten things that they shouldn't have, and they have foreign bodies in their stomach or in their intestines, and we will do surgery to remove those. We will do some orthopedic surgeries as well. So, there's a variety of things. We'll repair eyes if they have defects to the eyes. We're willing to try whatever we can to try to get the animals healthy.
And even dentals for our senior pets.
Oh, yes. How could I forget? We definitely do dental procedures. So, as pets get older, they are more likely to have dental disease, and sometimes that leads to loose teeth and infected teeth. And our veterinary staff is fully prepared to do tooth extractions for those animals that need it, and dental cleanings for those animals that need it.
So we have all types of equipment here.
Absolutely. Thanks to our supporters and you all as our supporters and people who donate to us. We are able to do a lot here. We have a lot of wonderful equipment that we can use to help save those lives. We can do blood work. We can take x-rays. We can do dentistry. And we're very lucky and grateful to have that to be able to help our animals.
And how many vets do we have on staff?
So we have 7 total veterinarians, including myself. It's a wonderful, wonderful group of veterinarians. Can't say enough about them. They're smart. They are intuitive. They are compassionate. They are great at surgery, and I can't say enough about them. They're working hard every day to do the best they can to get these animals healthy.
If someone's in college and wants to become a veterinarian, can they volunteer with the vet team?
Yes, that's a great idea. If you are interested in volunteering, and this really goes for everyone who's interested in volunteering, but particularly if you have an interest in becoming a veterinarian or you're in school to become a veterinarian, please just go through our website. Please go to HoustonSPCA.org and look for the volunteer tab. That will put you on the right track to get signed up to become an official volunteer. There will be some hours that you will have to complete, And then once you complete some basic hours volunteering in the shelter, then we can get you some special training to move to our animal hospital. And in the hospital, you're able to do a little bit more direct work with the injured and ill animals. But there is a process to go through as a volunteer, and I recommend starting there so you get a good idea about our mission and you're ready to jump right on in.
All right. So once an animal is rescued and it's healed, can they be adopted right away after they see the vets?
Yeah, great question. So when is an animal considered ready for adoption? Again, we want to make sure that when we put an animal up for adoption, that they have gone through a full medical check, that they have received not only a physical exam, but that we have given them vaccinations, that we have given them heartworm and flea prevention, that we have dewormed the animal, that we've spayed and neutered, and implanted a microchip in our pets. So once they are healthy and medically sound, we also want to make sure that they're behaviorally sound. We have a responsibility as veterinarians and as animal lovers to make sure that animals that go onto the adoption floor are coming to you and are not going to pose any safety risk or public health hazards. So make sure those animals are behaviorally sound and medically sound as best we can. And then we consider them ready to go on the adoption floor. And that's when you come to the adoption center, you pick out the animal that you feel like you have a connection with, that adorable face, you know, that cute little wagging tail. You find the animal that you want to visit with. You're able to visit with the pet and, you know, determine whether or not this is a pet that you want to bring into your home for life. So we thank you for that. But yes, we try to do the best we can to make sure that every animal that goes to our adoption floor is healthy.
And so before they're officially, you know, checked off, ready for adoption, is during that time waiting period, can they go into a foster home or do they, you know, have to be here in isolation?
Yeah, that's a great question as well, because every animal that comes to us, you know, is not healthy right away. And it takes a community to help us do what we do. I can't say it enough, that it's not just the animal shelter workers. We do everything that we can here, but we need people to help continue our mission outside of these four walls. One of the things that is life-saving to animals, and that does so much good to help us do what we do, is fostering. So we get in a lot of animals, again, that are sick or injured. It can be really beneficial to them to be out of the shelter and in a home environment where it's more peaceful, where there's less disease. And fostering saves so many lives. Sometimes, you know, you have cats with upper respiratory infection or dogs with broken limbs, or sometimes they're just too tiny and they're not ready for adoption and they just need a home to grow up in until they can find their forever home. We have a variety of animals that can benefit from fostering. So even if you can only foster a couple of animals a year or even one a year, it always makes a difference. So please consider becoming a foster parent for our pets here.
And they can go online just like the volunteers can,
Yes,
right?
please go online, HoustonSPCA.org, and click that Fostering Animals tab. You can get more information about becoming a foster and help us to save so many lives.
All right, so talk a little bit about the staff that cares for them while they're in the adoption center. Do they just give them food and water and that's it? Or what else are they kind of in charge with?
You know, those of you who have pets, you know this, that it's not just a matter of giving them food and water and shelter. Those are their basic needs, and those are wonderful, and we make sure that those needs are met on a daily basis. But we also know that our animal care specialists, the team who is responsible for caring for these animals on a daily basis, they have huge hearts. And it's not just food and water that they're administering to these animals. They are delivering compassion, love. They help to identify disease when it happens. So they're seeing these animals every day. They can point out to our veterinary staff if they notice that an animal might be different today. Maybe the animal normally comes up to the cage or the door and normally greets them, but maybe one morning the pet doesn't come up to the door. You know, these are things that our animal care specialists can notify our veterinary team about, and we can get on top of it. So our animal care specialist team, you know, is very, very important to the success of the health of the animals and the Houston SPCA as a whole. And they are part of the reason why when you take these animals home, that they do so well in your home.
And another big part of it is the volunteers. So in addition to, you know, walking the dogs every day, how else can they help to make sure that while the pets are here waiting to be adopted, that they're happy?
Yes, volunteers play a huge role as well. So again, it's not just our staff here. We also could not do what we do without volunteers who give their time every single day, morning till night, working with our pets. And they help us in a variety of ways. So they certainly help to walk our animals. So they walk the dogs and get them some exposure outside of their runs and outside of their cages. And they're able to take them on walks, give them some socialization, give them some enrichment. They also help us to identify disease. When they're coming to walk the dogs and they're noticing that maybe a dog is limping or coughing or sneezing, that helps us. They can identify those things. They can let our veterinary staff know, and we can jump on those problems to help get them solved. So our volunteers are amazing. They're wonderful people who dedicate their time to the health of these animals every day. We can't say enough thank yous to them.
So we did have somebody comment, what if they want to adopt a specific breed?
Yes, if you want to adopt a specific breed, I would recommend going frequently to our website. So we get lots of breeds in all the time, but we never know what's going to come in, because we never know what's going to come in through our ambulance or through our cruelty service, or what types of animals may come in from the general public looking to rehome. So it really is a variety of animals every day. I would say continue to check our website so that you can look for a particular breed. We get so many animals in, it's difficult for us to reach out to you if we find a particular breed that you're looking for. So I would say check the website very frequently, and that's going to be your best chance at finding them.
And then also maybe just coming here, just connecting with them and the personality versus the breed too. How is that important?
Yes, it's hugely important that you come and interact with the animals here, because there can be a true connection of the hearts when you see that dog or that cat, that you look into their eyes, there's just something there, there's just a connection there. That's really important, because we want you to be able to develop a wonderful emotional bond with the pet that you're going to take home. And a lot of that comes from interacting with them. And so even if you are focused on a particular breed, that's great. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But please consider coming on down and taking a look at some of the animals that we do have. A lot of our animals are mixed breeds. And so they have a little bit of qualities from multiple breeds out there. And so sometimes I think that's really good. When you have this sort of a mixed breed, they tend to be the healthiest of all the different breeds that make them up. And so, we say the shelter dogs tend to be the healthiest dogs overall. So you should just come on down and interact.
All right. So do we just take in dogs and cats, or what type of other animals come in through Houston SPCA?
Gosh, we don't say no to an animal coming in based on its species. So if there's an animal that's in need, whether it's cruelty, whether it's an injured animal on the side of the road, we will bring it in and we'll do the best that we can to get it healthy. We have lots of resources with the Houston Zoo and our Wildlife Center. And so if it's a species of animal that we don't typically see, we have lots of supportive resources that we can reach out to and try to take care of them. For example, a couple of weeks ago, we had a chameleon, a stray chameleon. I don't know how that happened, but we have a stray chameleon. We've had an emu here. We've had a chimpanzee here. We've had a bear here. We've had lots of different interesting animals. Armadillo.
Baby seal.
A baby seal. We've had very cool animals that have come to us for help. And we don't hesitate to take those animals in if they need us. And we just reach out to community partners who can help us give them the best care.
And for the Wildlife Center, what type of animals do they typically see and do care for at our campus?
Yes, our Wildlife Center of Texas can see more than 360 species a year. So they are seeing a variety of native wildlife. And those wildlife, again, are typically brought in by the members of the community who find or notice that there's a sick or injured animal out in the community. And you take your time and you use your compassionate heart to bring these animals to our Wildlife Center of Texas. And the Wildlife Center of Texas has a wonderful team of staff and volunteers who evaluate those animals and try to rehabilitate them. The goal with the Wildlife Center of Texas is going to be to rehabilitate the animals that they can and release them back into their natural habitat. We want to be able to keep wild, natural animals in the wild and let them live the lives that they should live. And so our Wildlife Center of Texas makes every effort to do that. And we thank you for the support of that organization as well.
And we can't forget about our wonderful barn team. Tell us a little bit about what type of animals do they usually see?
A lot of people don't know that the Houston SPCA has an equine and farm animal department. you see again our dogs and cats, and you may even know that we have small mammals like rabbits and guinea pigs, but we do have equine and farm animals as well. Again, whatever animal needs our help, we are going to reach out and try to do that. So we have horses, we have potbelly pigs, we have chickens, we have doves, we have a variety of farm animals at any given time. So if you are interested in even adopting farm animals, a horse or another type of farm animal, we do those adoptions as well. So what you would need to do, though, to get in to see those animals is to go to our website and fill out an application for the equine and farm animal department. The application will be sent to our equine and farm animal team. They will reach out to you to schedule an appointment to visit with the animals, because that department requires an appointment. So we don't need an appointment to see the dogs, cats, and small mammals, but you do need an appointment to see the equine and farm animals. So go right online. You can see pictures of them as well. And if you're interested in one of those animals, please make that appointment.
And what are other departments that I didn't mention that, make up this large organization?
Yes, again, it takes such a community to do the work that we do. I can't say it enough. So, other departments that are important are, I mentioned the call center. Our call center takes in calls from the community and from other organizations and directs them where they should be in the organization. So these are people that are calling with general information or to report animal cruelty or injury. And our call center handles thousands of calls a month. Wonderful group of people. We also have a marketing team. So the team who puts together all the TikToks and Instagram and takes the beautiful photos of the pets and of the people that you see working here and gives that information to you, because we want you to know what your support means to us. We want you to know what your support does to help us do what we do. So that team is hugely important to give you feedback about how your support of us helps us to save more animals. We also have an education department. So we are passionate about educating the community about animal health care. We have critter camp throughout the year, particularly in the summer. And that's where young students can come here for a week at a time and learn all about veterinary medicine and animal health care. So that we go out and help to educate the community as well and give talks on emergency animal management and health care for your pets. And so we're very, we're very passionate about that as well. And then, a team that oftentimes doesn't get mentioned, but that we cannot do what we do without is our maintenance team, our facilities team. Our campus is large, and we house hundreds of animals at a time. And we need this facility to be up and running and maintained every single day. And we have a small but very mighty team of facilities workers, who do everything from, helping keep the floors clean to painting to doing landscaping. And they keep our facility looking wonderful so that the animals are in the most comfortable environment possible and that we can give that experience to you. So I thank you to all of the teams that help us do what we do every day. We appreciate that.
And then somebody did ask, what is the greatest need for the Houston SPCA? We talked about volunteering and fostering. Anything else that you can think of?
Your continued support in any way is important to us. But something that I think, the community often doesn't realize is how much we need you in the way of fostering and volunteering. We have hundreds of animals each day, and we have wonderful staff. But we want to be able to do more. We want to be able to do more for the community. We want to be able to do more for the animals. And we often can't do that without help. And that help means, reaching out so that, people in the community can take some of these animals into their home. If we have less animals in our brick and mortar facility and they're in a home, we are able to get more animals off the street so that they can get the care that they need. So being a temporary foster actually frees up space in our facilities so that we can bring more animals from the community to get the help that they need. So fostering is huge, and it saves lives. And volunteers are huge. Whether it's 1 day a week, whether it's an hour a week, it all matters. You are giving your time to these animals. You are helping them to get socialization and enrichment. And as long as these animals are in our care, we want to make sure that they get what they need, not only physically, but emotionally. We want to be able to provide that. But that takes volunteers to do. And volunteers are a huge part of giving the animals what they need emotionally here. So please reach out. consider being a volunteer and or a foster and be a part of our extended family here.
And as a nonprofit, we also rely on donations. So if you have a really busy schedule or you're not able to foster, you can also, give with the Amazon, or how else can they give, Dr. Westbrook?
Yeah, so, giving, everybody cannot give in the same way. And so giving to a cause could mean lots of different things. And so one of the ways that you can give of yourself is through financial support. So going to houstonspca.org/donate, you can donate financially there, and those funds will go directly to help with our animal care and our function of our daily business. So you can also help by going to Amazon. We have an Amazon wish list, and so things on our Amazon wish list also are products and things that we need to directly help us with the care of the animals. So there's certainly lots of ways that you can give. We appreciate anything that you can do. So please go to our website and look at the ways to give to support. So I know that's a lot, but again, it's National Animal Shelter Appreciation Week. Please know that no matter where you are in our community, in our state, if there's an animal shelter near you, please know that the animal shelter needs your support. We need people in the community to help us save as many animals as we possibly can. There's so many ways that you can do that. Please don't think there's nothing that you can do. You can always help, even by tuning into this show every week and understanding, what we do here is a help. So thank you for joining us. Please consider coming on down this weekend to our adoption center and seeing some of our pets home. Again, they'll touch your heart forever. They'll be a huge part of your life. So we encourage that. And then come back and see us next week. We're going to have another wonderful topic for you next week. You're going to get to see our equine and farm animal department and meet with some of them. And that's going to be a very, very wonderful show. So please visit with us every week. We're so happy to have you. And come visit Brontes. Look how handsome he is. What a cutie. Okay, thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week. Have a wonderful weekend. I'm your host, Dr. Roberta Westbrook.